Hey guys, welcome to my channel Linux King. My name is Salman Francis and today I'm back with one more interesting video and it's about EFS or Elastic File System in Amazon. So what is EFS? I'll show you some notes. So EFS stands for Elastic File System. It's based on NFS or Network File System, and EFS is a shared file system for Linux only. It can be shared between many EC2 instances, and by default EFS is only for the VPC it's provisioned into. However, with support for inter-region VPC peering, you can connect EC2 instance in one region to EFS file system in another. This also helps to copy frequently accessed data across region to optimize performance and synchronize data across AWS region for disaster recovery. EFS can be accessed over VPN or direct connect. So before we start our demo, one important thing that EFS is also part of Amazon Architect Professional exam. So it would be very beneficial for all the guys who are preparing for this exam. So, and one more thing before I start demo, I would like to show you the console, AWS console. And over here, I just want to let you know that I have already created these two machines and a VPC. And this VPC over here, it's in North Virginia region. And it's called It Pings VPC. And the CIDR of this VPC is 10.1.0.0/16. This is a subnet. And then you can see these things. DNS hostname is enabled and DNS resolution is enabled. This is important thing to know. Then I would take you to my EC2 instances, which I have already created. I have created two instances. Both are in North Virginia region, EFS1 and EFS2. And then one is in US East 1A availability zone and the other is in US East 1B. And the subnets they belong to are so the subnets are, you can see these are the subnets AWS EFS -1. This is one subnet, it's 10.1.4.0/24, and the other is AWS EFS -subnet 2, and it's 10.1.5.0/24. So these are the subnets, and we also have a route table. This is the route table, and you can see that two subnets are part of this route table. Also, we have one internet gateway, and EFS GW is the internet gateway. And you can see that It Pings VPC is attached to this gateway. Guys, if you are still not familiar with how to create these routing table and internet gateway, please look at my AWS webinar as well as the refresher course or the refresher video which I just recently published on YouTube. All right, now back to our instances. So these are the two instances, and you can see that if I click on instance number 1, it's going to give me some summary. One important thing again, you can see that public IPv4 DNS is enabled as well as private, and this is the internal IP address of my EFS1 machine, and this is the public IP address. And over here, from my local machine, I have already connected with these machines. And you can see that these are CentOS machines. These are not Amazon Linuxes. CentOS 7. So this is with the 5 subnet, and the other is with 4 subnet. So these are two machines with CentOS 7. What I have done here is I already updated the machine with yum-y update command, and that's it. Okay. Now let me take you back to our notes. So Demo, I have already explained you that we have already created two instances, and also about information about some security group. Yeah, important thing, let me take you to the security group. Actually, why I'm taking some time to explain these things, because these things can really mess your setup up. So the security group is, I have already created, and it's called itping security group, and these are the rules. You can see HTTPS, these are not necessary actually, but you can always set these security rules as per your requirement. And this is the most important rule, that NFS TCP 2049 is allowed in this security group. Okay, so this is the most important security group. You can see, so please take a note of this. This rule is very important. 2049 for NFS. Okay, and then I have SSH allowed from the security group and from my local IP address. Okay, what's next? Make sure VPC has DNS host and resolution enabled. We already did that. And if you are not familiar how to do that, you just click on VPC, click on action, then click on the edit DNS host name or resolution and select true. EC2 instance have the same security group. We have already seen that when we created these EC2 instances, we put them in the same security group. Enable NFS 2049. This is TCP port number which we need to enable. Also make sure that when creating EFS, click on customize and make sure the correct security groups are chosen. So this I'll show you when we will create EFS. So let's start our EFS, how to create it. Okay, good. We have this both machines. Okay, and at the moment, if I click on df-h, you can see that nothing is mounted beside like its own hard drive over here, as well as in this machine as well. Okay, cool. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go to our Amazon console. In our services, we are going to type here EFS. Click on EFS. Then we are going to click on create file system. And over here, I'm going to give it a name, AWS EFS-demo. You can call it anything. And from here, I'm going to select the VPC, which I created earlier, and it pings VPC. Now I'm going to click on customize. Okay, so enable automatic backup. Yes. 30 days since last access. Okay. We are going to use general purpose performance mode. So this is ideal for latency sensitive use case. Actually, the main difference is like max IO is used for applications which run in parallel or which requires more workload and which needs more throughput. However, the latency, it has a high latency. So most of the people are going to use general purpose. So we are going to use general purpose here. Throughput mode is bursting, like throughput scales with the file system size. This is what we are going to use. It's by default. Enable encryption of data at rest. That's what we are going to use. Yes. Then I'm going to click on next. Okay, so here is the important part. That's why I asked you to click on customize. So VPC is correct. It's selected. Over here, US East 1A, yes. And the subnet is, we have itping subnet and EFS1 subnet. So yes, we are going to select this one. Then IP address is going to be automatic. Over here, this is the problem. We are not going to use default. We are going to use our own itping security group, which we have just recently seen. Okay, same goes for the US East B1 1B. Yep, subnet 2. This was subnet 1. Yes, correct. And over here again, I'm going to remove this and remove this as well. And this is going to be itpings-sec group. Okay, perfect. Now click on next. Okay, do you want to prevent root access by default, enforce read-only access by default? I'm not going to select any of those. Just click on next. Okay, so this is the review. you can just review it and click on create. So everything is fine. I'm just going to click on create. Scroll down and click create. It's going to take some time, so you can just refresh. Oh yeah, it's available. It's fast. So anyway, now what I'm going to, this is the important file system ID. You just copy it, and let's click on this demo EFS. Right now you can see the total size is 6 kilobit and a kilobyte, sorry, and click on network, and you can see that it's still creating. So after a couple of refreshes, hopefully it will be done. So let's get back to our notes. So max IO I have already explained, and it is used for scaling an application which require parallel operation and workloads. It has high throughput, but the drawback is its high latency. General purpose, it is the one we will be using by default and is fine for most of our needs. And to set up EFS, we are already doing it. So let's get back to our console. Click on refresh, and it's still creating. So anyway, what we can do is we can just go to our machine, and we need to follow a couple of things. First thing is that we need EFS utils. Okay, so in Amazon Linux, if you are using Amazon Linux, you can just simply type yum-y install amazon-efs.utils. But in CentOS, it's not the case. We need to build our own RPM, and to do that, what I'm going to do is I just created this simple script, and I'm just going to copy it and run this script. So anyway, let me just, yeah, we can copy that earlier. So I'm just going to copy this again. Copy. Okay. Paste it. What it's going to do is it's going to install Git, then it's going to clone the Git repository. It's going to enter into EFS utils and then give a couple of commands. So let's chmod +X, and guys, you need to do it on both machines, and you need to source it actually. Press enter, and then the script will run, and it will actually, I have already installed it, so you can see that RPM query A of Amazon EFS-utils will reveal that it's already installed, but for you it's not going to give you any error, and it will be it will install this package for you. I'll be posting this script in my description below, like you can download it. Okay, in our next machine we are going to do the same. And we can RPM-query A, and it's Amazon EFS-utils. Perfect. Now the utility is installed. Now what we need to do is we need to create a mount point. Okay. So let's create our mount point, and for that we are going to go into mount mnt and make directory, let's call it EFS-mp. Okay, and we are going to do it on both machines. Okay, now what we need to do is we are going to check if our EFS is working. So it's still creating, but let's refresh, and perfect, it's available now. And now what we need to do is go back to our file system and copy this, because this is of our file system ID. I'm going to go into my FS tab, and over here I'm just going to paste my file system ID, this one, the new one. Actually guys, I have done this experiment last night, and that's why it's still over here. And let me explain you this, what does it mean. So fs-beb9049 is the file system ID, then the colon and the forward slash, this is how you mention your EFS file system, then the mount point, and it's //mnt EFS MP, then EFS is the file system name, and underscore net dev. This point, this means that whenever the system reboots, it's difficult for FS tab to mount the mount point, so it uses netdev, which helps it mount the mount points. TLS is for transport layer security, and this 00 is for by default. So this is what we are going to type and save and exit. The same thing we are going to do in our other machine. Okay, this is done. Now if all goes well, what we need to do is we need to mount it. Mount okay, and over here mount as well. Okay, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is we have this EFS MP, and if I create anything over here, let's create make directory backup, let's say, and in this backup directory I'm just going to echo I was here. Let's put it to salmon.txt, and over here you can see this is the file in this directory, and in this the other machine we can just go to our EFS MP mount point, and voila, we have this backup directory as well. And if we go into this backup directory, we can see that it has the same file and salmon.txt I was here. Perfect. So this is how EFS work, and we were successful in creating our and setting up our file system. A few more things. So if I want to share is, if you receive an error, for example, let's say if there is an error that you have the TLS, your client lacks sufficient control to properly enforce TLS, please upgrade STunnel or disable STunnel in this hostname. So you need to go into this configuration file, etc Amazon EFS efsutils.conf, and over here you can set it up STunnel_check_cert_hostname to false. You can see that here. We need to go to etc Amazon EFS and then efsutils.conf, and STunnel over here. You can see that external underscore check cert underscore host name is equals to false. Okay, this will remove that error. And once it's done, we are done with creating our file system. It was awesome. And we have, even with the reboot, it will survive. So I can just show you if we just restart this machine in at 6. That's why we added in this file system in our FS tab, so it survives the reboot. Otherwise, if you don't put these entries in your FS tab, it's not going to survive reboot. The share will be gone. And by the way, if this time we type df-h, you can see that it's mounted. Before it was not showing, it was locally mounted. Now it's showing you that the mount point. Okay, so let's see when this machine will be up. So we can just make sure that the mount point survived. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. And guys, before I end the video, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like, please do comment. And also you can give me your suggestions if you want to see some more videos, some specific topic. Please do comment. That would really help me create more videos. And also like us on our Facebook and follow me on Instagram. You can also tweet me. Everything is in the description below. So let's see when our okay, it should be up now. So let's check. Okay, now we are back. So let's go to our mount point first, df-h, and you can see it's mounted over here. Perfect, that was really important. So if we go to our mnt mount point, perfect, we still have our mount point and we have our directory and the data is intact. Perfect. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you liked my video. Please do subscribe, do like, and share with your friends and family. Until our next video, goodbye. God bless.